Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are going through 5 tips and tricks as we transition from summer to fall when it comes to your skincare. Every time, no matter where you live, every single year in that September month, we tend to have our skin dry out a little bit. We have the seasons change. I used to live in Palm Beach. I've lived in New York. I'm now in Colorado. This comes with years of experience in various different climates and what I've noticed my skin needs depending on where I've lived. So if that's something you're into, make sure to keep on watching and don't forget to subscribe because I upload every other day. That'll be the best way to stay up to date on all the fun stuff I'm posting. So if you want to jump into my 5 tips for fall skincare, stay tuned. Now with this, I am going to be doing 2 product recommendations for each of the 5 little tips. In some cases, the products work together. In some cases, it's a one or the other, but it's really up to you and what your skin needs. Now, just as a blanket piece of advice, when I was living in Florida, my skin was a lot more on the normal side. When I lived in New York, my skin was very oily. And now that I'm living in Colorado, my skin's actually normal combo, leaning dry. So the amount of times where I used to touch up with a beauty blender in the middle of a video because I felt I was getting shiny, I don't really have to do that as much here as I used to. So we're going to jump through 5 tips for fall skincare that apply to everyone, regardless of where you live. The product recommendation might change a little bit. Now, the first piece of advice is probably the most important, and that is, just because summer is over does not mean it is time to ditch your sunscreen. SPF is important all year round, no matter what. So even though we're moving from summer into fall and you might not be spending as much time outside, you still need to be applying your SPF. Now, the 2 that I'm going to be talking about today, the first is the Murad Oil and Pore Control Mattifier. Loved this in New York, liked it in Florida because I didn't need as much shine control. And I love this in the fall. I'm going to take that back. I love that in the summer in Colorado, but here I need something a little bit less mattifying for during the fall. So in fall, I like to transition to the Indy Lee Mineral Sunscreen SPF. It's an SPF 30, but it is all mineral zinc oxide. It is fantastic. I love the way it smells. I love the way it feels. I don't get a ton of a white cast. If you overuse it with all mineral sunscreens, you'll get a little bit of a white cast. But this one I do really enjoy. Now, both of these are very good. It really just depends on what your skin needs. If you tend to be more on the oily side, even as the summer is ending and the seasons get a little bit drier, feel free to use this. And if you find that your skin really craves that hydration, I would recommend this one. Number 2 is going to be make sure you give your skin the necessary hydration it needs. Now, I have a ton of hydrating skincare products I can recommend, ton of serums and moisturizers, but the pair I want to talk about today is one that I've been loving for years. These are the Bloom Effects Tulip Dewdrops and the Royal Tulip Nectar. Now, these are some of the most hydrating products I have. When my skin was really going through a dry patch, I would go into that. The texture of the jelly is really more of it's pretty thick. The nectar is a full-on gel, which makes for slugging without using Vaseline. Very helpful. You don't necessarily need to use that thick, comedogenic, pore-clogging Vaseline. You can use something like this that's designed for your skin. And the Dewdrops, the reason I love this so much is it is a very lightweight serum that does have quite a bit of pearl in there to give you a little bit of extra shine, but it also has a ton of oils and anti-aging benefits in there. So you get all of those extra hydrating factors plus the anti-aging benefits that you would get during the summer as you transition into the winter when your skin is extra dry and needs that extra hydration. The next piece of advice is going to be do not neglect your mists. There is nothing better than a skin mist, especially as things tend to dry. The 2 that I love the most because of how hydrating they are going to be the Caudalie Beauty Elixir. This one's almost empty, but I already have a backup ready to go. And the Tower 28 SOS Spray. This is the old packaging because I had a few backups. Once this is done, I'll get to move to the new packaging. Now, both of these are very hydrating. This one uses essential oils to balance the skin, whereas this is a true saline mist, which just causes the skin to hold on to moisture. Even on top of makeup, I love just misting this on my skin, pressing it into my makeup as a refresher, or on the days that I have no makeup on, just using it to boost hydration on the skin. It is fantastic. Both of these are amazing. 10 out of 10 recommend. I have gone through several bottles of both of these. This is not a product for the season. These are things I keep on hand all year round. The next biggest tip as things dry out is to make sure you are masking your lips and adding that extra hydration. Now during the summer when you get a sunburn, you want to make sure you're really hydrating your lips there as well. But in the winter, as the air dries out, especially here in Colorado, my lips tend to crack, they get very brittle, it just becomes an issue. A friend of mine moved from San Antonio, which is pretty dry to begin with, to Chicago a few years ago. And she switched onto these lip masks because of how dry her skin felt, because it was the first time she had to experience winter in a very long time. First is going to be the Ride or Die Jouer Essential Lip Enhancer. I've been talking about this for years. Amazing product, boosts hydration, naturally adds a little bit of plumpness to the lips without any burning, tingling, stinging, etc. But it does add that beautiful sheen of hydration. Or I've really enjoyed for quite some time, the Milk Makeup Melatonin Overnight Lip Mask. This I prefer at night. The melatonin I don't think really does anything, but it does have a pretty mild scent. It does go on very nice, but it's a little bit thicker. This wears like a lip gloss. This wears like a true lip mask. Both are good. You can wear them together. You could do one during the day, one at night, but really making sure that you're taking the time to add that extra hydration to the lips. Right now, my lips are pretty dry, but because I go in with these type of products, I'm not getting that peeling and flaking on my lips like I normally do when I wear a matte lipstick, and it just allows me to have a much smoother pout. And the last tip is going to be make sure you're exfoliating. The worst thing you can do is when you have all this dead skin built up and you have this dryness, is leaving it on top of your skin, because it'll make your skin look dull, it'll look gray, it'll feel ashy, it'll get flaky, and just in general, it will not have the glow and clarity that you want out of your skin. So the two items that I'm going to talk about, both are exfoliating. One of them is for daily use that's a little more gentle, and one of them's a little bit more intense. The everyday is going to be the Olga Lorenzen Skincare Lactic Acid Hydrating Serum. This bottle I'm about halfway done with, and I've gone through, I want to say 3 of these already from before they did the bottle change, and I do actually have a backup of this ready to go. It is one of my favorite serums to use every single night. Lactic acid boosts hydration while also gently exfoliating the skin, getting rid of those dead skin cells and keeping everything nice and smooth. It'll also help to refine the appearance of pores while also helping with that dead skin buildup. Now, I like to use that every night. However, sometimes you need a little bit more, and another product I've been raving about for years are the Dr. Dennis Gross Daily Alpha Beta Peel Pads. I use the red extra strength ones, but they do have a blue gentle and an orange normal. You can use whichever one you find is more appropriate to your skin. If you've never used them before, I recommend starting with the gentle and then working your way up. But I've been using these for a very long time. It is a 2-step where you start with the first peel, you take that all over the skin, it's going to refine pores, exfoliate, get rid of dead skin, tone the skin while also getting rid of any additional dirt and debris on the surface. You leave that on for about 2 minutes, then you go in with the second step, which is the neutralizer. The neutralizer is going to stop the acids from the first step, causing everything to calm down a little bit, and then allowing your skin to have that glow and clarity from there. After that, I just follow up with a lightweight hydrating serum and a moisturizer, and I am good to go. Now, skincare is not one size fits all, where the recommendation that I give you applies to every single person under the sun, whether you have a sensitivity or an allergy or there are just products you don't necessarily like. Do not feel like everything I recommend you have to run out and buy immediately. But these are the types of products you should be working into your routine. I love when you guys ask questions in the comment section. I will make sure to respond. If you have a, hey, I saw the Royal Tulip Nectar Bloom Effects product. I use this instead. Is that good? I will happily answer any and all of those questions down below. But really, if it works for you and you like it, keep doing it. There is nothing wrong with that. Anyway, thank you all for watching. As always, let me know your thoughts down below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!